Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of a company that's completely changing how drones are made. And it all comes from a founder with a journey that you have to hear to believe.
Okay, just look at this contrast. This is the story of Mohammed Adib. It's a journey that literally spans continents and industries, starting from the most humble beginnings imaginable. It's kind of like a classic Silicon Valley story, but with a twist nobody saw coming. So to really get how Titan Dynamics even came to be, we've got to rewind the clock all the way back to 1996, to a childhood half a world away from any tech hub. You know, Adib's early life was about as far from the world of tech as you can get. His family was just scraping by. But then, when he was 9 years old, everything changed. His father won a green card lottery, and the family pooled every cent they had to move to the United States. Once he was in America, Adib's natural curiosity just exploded, and it led him to a whole string of really unexpected successes, long before drones were even on his radar.
And what's wild is that his biggest breakthroughs didn't come from some grand plan. They came from just being bored. At 14, on a long car ride, he teaches himself to code and makes a game that all his classmates loved. Before he even turns 20, he helps create a viral app for Pokemon Go and sells 2 different companies. So when the pandemic hit, that same restlessness kicked in and sparked his next big idea.
And that quote really says it all. That passion became the engine for his next huge venture, which, believe it or not, started out as just a simple pandemic hobby. He completely immersed himself in the world of drones, trying to learn everything he possibly could. So, as he's teaching himself about drones, he and his co-founder, an aerospace expert named Noah Benton, they noticed something, a huge, fundamental flaw in the way drones were actually being made. The traditional way of making a drone is just painfully slow and ridiculously expensive. I mean, creating the molds for a drone's frame can cost up to $100,000. And if you want to change the design, you have to start all over. So Adib asked a really simple question. Why don't we just 3D print the whole thing? And the impact of that simple idea is just staggering. Their method lets anyone build a custom drone for just 1% of what a comparable commercial model would cost. 1%. They made the whole process just dead simple. And this wasn't an overnight thing. After more than 10,000 hours of outdoor testing and crashing over 100 prototypes, they perfected a library of 150 different models that anyone can build just by buying a design file and using a regular 3D printer. So, the company was originally focused on things like aerial photography. But then, they got a phone call that changed absolutely everything. Okay, so picture this. A US soldier is out in the field. Their super high-tech, expensive drone gets taken down. Normally, this is a huge problem. So here's the choice they were facing. The official repair, that would take 5 months and cost over $100,000. They just didn't have that kind of time. So they decided to take a huge chance on a totally new solution. And as a total last resort, they downloaded one of Adib's designs, printed out the parts, and boom, they had a brand new drone up and flying in less than 24 hours for just a tiny fraction of the cost. Insane, right? And that one event, that was it. That was the ultimate proof of concept. It showed that speed and cost were these incredible advantages in the defense world. The military suddenly realized they could replace crazy expensive hardware with something they could literally print on demand. Now, pivoting to become a defense contractor is no small feat, but the company's whole problem-solving mindset, that's what let them navigate all the government bureaucracy and complex payment systems. And the results? I mean, they just speak for themselves. In just 2 years, the company is profitable, they hold 6 contracts with the Department of Defense, and they're valued at over $100 million. So what's the real driving force behind all this success? It's not just about the 3D printing. Adib himself says his entire journey, from coding games in his bedroom to building military hardware, has been driven by one single thing: curiosity. It's about seeing a problem and having that relentless drive to figure out how to solve it. Adib's story is just amazing proof that a relentless drive to ask questions and find answers can be the most powerful tool for innovation there is. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Thanks for joining this explainer.
喜欢这种学习方式，欢迎订阅我的频道，让我们一起用下一个10分钟，把商业英文变简单。